Okay,
Hi, everyone. It's Nancy Reyes with For Your Canine.
that happened fast. And Joanne Soike with For Better for Worse Dog Training.
Uh, well, today's our last. Oops,
You're there.
hold on.
Today's our last Facebook Live of 2023. So we wanted to kind of get together and share some of the new and old, I guess, things that were our favorites that we have always used, started using, found new. Just ways of treats, toys, enrichments, fun things that we have used throughout the year. So we wanted to share it with you guys. And if you have any great ideas or new things, feel free to share them as we share ours. No one wants all the things.
Yeah, well, yes, we have. Noah's like, oh, this is going to be a fun show. There's going to be food to be had.
Yes.
Well, why don't we start with treats, right? Because we all do a lot of positive reinforcement. We all do different dog sports that we compete in, and sometimes the treats make a difference for some dogs and some dogs that don't. So, and actually, a couple of the ones I found were just by accident, or they were recommended to me was by someone else. So, right now, one of the new treats I've been using is Munster freeze-dried treats. They're local and they're really good, and they have a great sale on them. Actually, Amy W. Actually, the lab wants some. Amy W. Recommended these, and you could go to Munster.com, and they have different. This is chicken, but they have beef and lamb and all those, and and this is a pretty big bag. It lasts a long time. So this is one that I've found new this year that I like a lot. The other one is I order butcher's box for my meat. Since I've with my health issues, I've done it for a long time, and they started having jerky bites from butcher's box, and those are pretty good too. They break up really nice, and they're grain free. So for those dogs that need that, so those are the two new that I found in 2023. However, my go-to is always the liver lady. That's here locally, and she makes the treats here. And Karen does a really great job of making treats. She delivers to For Your Canine, and we love her. And I'm going to share my screen real quick so you can see her. I don't have liver lady treats available, but it gives you an idea. She does ship elsewhere, by the way. So this is her menu, which is lovely, and so she has all different kinds for all different issues that dogs have. I've used all of them, so they're awesome. This is my go-to, and then the new stuff that I add, I like to use, as a supplement or something different, and change it up for the dogs. So those are my treat recommendations. I know Joanne does a lot more experimenting than I do, but those are my few treats. Because especially like the liver lady is great, but my shepherd can have a sensitive tummy, so sometimes the liver can be a little tough for him. So
yeah, I think one of my tried and trues that I have used for so many years, and it's just easy and it keeps really well. I love my Happy Howies.
Yep.
I know that they sell it at Nancy's facility. I sell it at my facility. It's a meat roll. It has pretty decent ingredients in it. It comes in lamb, turkey, and beef. The dogs, I've never met a dog that didn't like it. They all go pretty nuts for it. You just cut it up into little cubes. It keeps in the fridge for quite a few weeks. And it's shelf stable for a long time. Yeah, I know you like that too. So, One of the other ones that's not local to us, but it's local to Wisconsin, and I am really a fan of this. I order from her quite a bit. I'll share mine too. Screen here. So this is Gracie's Doggy Delights. So Gracie has some little schnauzers. She is, I think she's 18 or 19 now, but she has Down syndrome. And so she actually started this business. She does it all by herself. She works with her local butcher who does the freeze drying of the meat, but she packages and labels everything herself. And so she has tons of stuff on there. She's got little Christmas bins. She makes little donuts, but hearts, liver, so a lot of meat and organ meat. And you could see she delivers a lot to the Midwest area, but she ships all over the country. So she has quite an extensive menu. She does chicken, pork, lamb, beef.
Yeah.
She even does freeze-dried cheese.
Yeah.
And the quality of the products are great. I will tell you, my dogs love the chicken training treats, which are the freeze-dried chicken hearts, but she cuts them up into small pieces, so you don't have to like try and break a freeze-dried where it pulverizes. So love those. And then one of my other faves, which is slowly catching on, is farmhounds. So I don't know how many people have heard of farmhounds. But they have the farms that they source their meat from right on your package. Every package has a different farm stamp on it. And they use sustainable farms. Basically, they want farms that are going to use the whole animal. So I don't know about you guys, not to get all preachy, but I think where we're going with meat products, right? Sustainable farming is the way to go. And so the ingredients list on there, that's it. Like ingredients, pork kidney. So even if you don't want to use them as treats and you want to use something as a little bit more diverse to get some organ meat into your dogs, this is another great way. They have spleen and kidney and lung and liver, and they got a bunch of different stuff. Not only do they have treats, they also have different chews. So I'm sure you guys, I know you guys, oh my God, all my dogs are mauling me. So they have, if you guys have seen like the tracheas or esophagus, the long tubes, right? And how they're really crunchy and kind of crumbly. Farmhounds will sell a gullet, which is really, yeah, it's really pretty thick. Takes a while for the dogs to get through. Roscoe says, yes, please. So I like these. They also sell their meat hides rolls. So this is a beef hide. This is not raw hide. It's literally like the hide and of the cow, and they roll it up, tie it, dry it. These take forever. Even the Doberman can't get through this in a day. So they last a really, really long time. Super, super heavy chewers. This is a really great option. And then they just have so many different products. I love it. So I know we're going to get into our like Kongs and stuff, because let's be fair, we all do Kongs. And I know Nancy has her topples and stuff too. So I think a topple is one of our big faves, right?
Yep.
And we
She's got the big one, and I have the smaller one.
Yep, this is the little one too. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yep. And then everyone knows a good old Kong, right? I found some cheaper Kongs. They're real similar. They're just not quite as expensive. These small ones are like $3.50 a piece, as opposed to $8 or $9 with a Kong. Mm-hmm. But what I like to do is, after I stuff these, Farmhounds sells little things. So like this is a chicken wing, right? So after I stuff it, I will put like a chicken wing in there. And so it kind of gives them an extra piece, to kind of crunch through. Not to be gross, but sometimes I buy the chicken heads, right? And so I'll put a little chicken head in there. It just makes their chews and stuff. Yeah, king chews, Elizabeth, you're right. That is what these little blue ones are. So it takes them a little longer to get through that stuff. And it's just a little extra treat. And these, like, you can get these for like $1. I know, $1. Thank you, buddy. So, and speaking of those king chews, they do have some other stuff. I bought this not knowing what it was, and it was really cheap on sale. So I was like, "Ooh, a dog thing. Let me see what this is." They call it a chill and fill. So as I'm reading the directions on this, basically, if you are looking for a different version of a slow feeder, they tell you you're supposed to put a cup of kibble in here. And I see there's a little pinhole in the bottom here. You're supposed to fill it with a liquid of your choice, water, chicken broth, whatever. It'll drain out the bottom. And then once the kibble is soaked and wet, you can put it in the freezer, right? And then so it's just like a kibble version of a slow feeder Kong, right? So it just takes the dog a little extra time to get through that. I don't need a slow feeder, but I'm surprised I don't. I will at some point, I'm sure. But
well, I have to use. I just use a slow feeder bowl for my labs because
they're labs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I have a pile of things getting through. So
yeah. I like the rawhide idea. My little beagle's a power chewer for sure. So
yeah, and these come in different sizes. This is a medium. There's one size that's actually bigger than this, and there's one size that's about like this, smaller. So they're nice, and they last forever and ever. And they also sell them if you want to be really primal. They actually sell them with hair still on them, if you're into that. I did buy them once with the hair on them, and I thought it's so funny because Noah spent a while like holding it down and ripping the little pieces of hair out of it. He had a good old time, but it made a mess. So yeah.
So
yeah, those are my, and you know what I'm seeing a lot of people do these days. Because I think whatever you feed is, between you and your dog and your vet. I'm seeing a lot of people try to make a shift towards like freeze dried or raw or that type of stuff. So a lot of commercial stuff that I'm seeing people start to use as treats is the freeze dried dog food. So like Instinct, the Instinct brand makes a lovely little hard kind of freeze dried pellet in different proteins, and those hold up really well in your pocket. They're real nice to have on the go. They don't make a mess. You can just grab a handful and right. I really like those. So
yeah. Well, and those, like I said, I use a liver lady usually if I'm at the facility, but if I'm going to travel or whatever, sometimes it's hard to, not have treats or whatever. So we definitely try to have other things that we can use and also for the dogs so they can have a different variety of stuff, right? Training, but the price is insane these days. Yeah.
Instinct or
yeah.
No, you meant liver lady, but and this is the other thing is when you talk prices, I mean, we're seeing it everywhere, right? I think a lot of the things that you might see us, Nancy and I are both small business owners ourselves, so I always try to support small business. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of times you are going to pay a little bit more for some of that stuff, but it's not mass produced and mass manufactured. And so, like, I don't know her, but I know that, through the liver lady's business model, right? She's in her kitchen making all that stuff.
Yes, she is. Yep.
A machine doing it. She's putting the thumbprint in all those peanut butter treats. And
yeah, she is. And she makes a lot of them. I'm sure she's got it down to a fine-tuned, well-oiled machine, but she stays local, and she does ship because I had some liver lady down in Georgia, so she got some customers down there. So so she doesn't ship everywhere, but she's local to us, so we really love having her, and all the stuff that she makes. It's just because not that you could make it yourself, it's just nicer when she does it because I don't have time to do it.
Yep.
And I'm also very mindful of not a lot of chemicals and stuff like that. So I prefer, like she said, spend a little extra money and know the ingredients are, pretty. They're wholesome and they're there, and there's not a lot of preservatives, which is the downside of the liver lady stuff. Like you have to, if you saw them out, you have to put, you know what I mean. They're not going to stay. They're not going to stay fresh long, right? You have to use it relatively quickly. Yeah.
That's how I feel about my organic fruit. I stopped buying berries because I'm like, I can't eat them fast enough and they get all moldy. So
Yeah, right. Yeah.
the organic stuff, right? It just doesn't keep. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, talking treats, I don't know about you guys. Like, I'm a back and forther on bait bags. If it's winter and I'm wearing a hoodie, I will usually put treats in my hoodie pouch, right? So I can be kind of not having to worry about it. But I do like a good bait bag as well, because sometimes you need something to attach to yourself, or you just need more than what fits in your pocket. Sometimes I'm an over treater if I'm working on something new. And I have a favorite. So mine are the doggone good bags. So I like the big ones. They have a nice little hook on the back. They also come, if you want, with the belt strap. I'm not a fan of the belt strap, but I know lots of people are, to make sure it doesn't fall off. But I will just clip this right to my pocket. If you're a hiker, I know Liz is watching us, right? But so it has like 2 pockets on either side of it. It has a zippered pocket in the back, right? So you can it'll hold a cell phone, anything like that. And then I love the little magnet. It's got a magnet that holds it together. So this is huge on the inside. And if you just don't want anything to fall out, the magnet clips and it goes pretty straight there. And the thing I like even more is when these get gross, I put them in the dishwasher. They hold it. Yeah, it cleans it really nice. So another one I found, I just bought this. I haven't even used it yet, but I saw somebody else had it and I was like, oh my gosh, I was looking at that. It was thanks Patty for placing an order with Gracie. She's really wonderful. So this is called a mutt ruck. It's a Colorado source. Well, they make them in Colorado. This was a Kickstarter last year, and I had wanted one, and then they had a Black Friday special this year, so I bought it. So this is, again, a nice big bag. It comes with the belt if you want it. It comes out, has a nice big long clip there. Also comes with the zippered pouch. So if you're a hiker or traveling, and it actually has a little pouch here, a little pouch here, and then a bigger spot here so you can separate things. And then on the inside, again, it has a nice big magnet, but it's got 2 sections. So you can have your slimy hot dogs on one side and you can have your treats on the other side so they don't like get your dry treats wet or your wet treats dry. And then I don't know if you guys can totally see it, but this whole piece here, it zippers all the way around so you can remove the section that the food goes in to take out and wash it from the bag itself.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, these are expensive. I think they're normally about $45 for a bait bag. But I did get it on special on Black Friday, so I did not pay that much. But it's a pretty cool bag. I like it. It's nice and big, so if you're going to go on a big training session, you don't have to go back to fill up your bag very often. So when you have 4 dogs.
I like Gwen. I'm not a real big treat pouch girl, but I really, and again, I don't use it very often. I usually just use my pocket and I put my treats in my pockets. This is the one I like. It's small, but it's rubber and it just has a little magnet, and I like it because it keeps, it's easier to clean and it doesn't. Because I forget treats in my pouch sometimes and they stink so bad. So this is kind of nice and it kind of keeps everything, and it's small. So I really like that.
That looks like it'd be dishwasher safe too.
It is. It is. Yep. You can wash it in. You can wash it by hand or put it in the dishwasher. I really like, this is the one. If I'm going to use a treat pouch, which I don't typically, this is the one I use the most. Because it stays, and it's got a long, like the long clip is really helpful, especially because it'll stay instead of fall out. So I like the long clip as well. So
yep. And I have one of those too, but I don't know, I have big hands, so I always feel like I'm like having to like grab little
I think the company that makes them are making a little bit bigger ones that are more square and they have a little more space. Yeah. So yeah.
Can I give you the website for Farmhouse? Let's see. Farmhouse.com. That's what it is. Farmhouse.com. Oh, Connie put it in there. Thank you. Oh, I lost my bully sticks. I have a pile of things over here. Let's see. Yes, Julia, I love that you can put these in the dishwasher. They're great. So happy cleaning to you.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a big treat pouch fan, but I like the little rubber ones, and I know they're making them a little bit bigger so that you can reach in and get treats. But that's why I typically use my pockets more than the treat pouch. So, the only time is like if I really don't have any pockets, but usually I'm kind of a pocket girl for sure.
Yeah, sometimes if I'm gonna work a lot, like I don't want a huge pooch in my pocket, so I will put on a bag. You know what I mean? So it's just, to each his own. The dog is killing me right now. I dropped the bully sticks behind the desk, and he's like, so I might have to grab a different bag. But I know, sorry, madness.
Yeah. So those and we're like for the chews. I use yak chews when they're young. Like I have a young puppy, so those are great. The yak chews, they're really hard and they last a long time. But I don't use them as the dog gets older because I always worry about busting because they're really, really hard. And so I worry about them hurting their, breaking a tooth or something on it. When they're puppies, I don't worry about it so much. But when they're adults, I am a little bit more worried about that stuff. So those are stuff I usually, use.
Did you know about the trick with the yaks chews?
About putting them in the microwave? Oh, no.
Yeah, in the microwave, and it makes like little cheesy popcorn.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, somebody told me about that this weekend. I'm like, oh, even though my dogs kind of polish it off, but I don't usually have much left over, but I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, and it makes it
sorry, having a moment here.
Oh, who got under there? Roscoe?
Everybody's under here, and you have to understand, right? Like I have the resource garter, and so I'm trying to like manage the screen and everybody at the same time. So,
yeah.
So yeah, bully sticks are a big fave, right? I mean, I think a lot of us use bully sticks. They're wonderful. I don't know what we took. They are wonderful to chew on. I like the big 12-inch ones. They can get kind of expensive. I mean, if you get good ones, they're about $10 a stick, which is a lot. So please repeat pouch names. Oh, I'm sorry. And products after explaining it. Yeah. This one in the dishwasher one is called Doggone Good.
Yeah.
Ronnie. And then the one on Kickstarter that I was talking about, the two pocket one, it's called Mutt Ruck. Muttruk. Mutt Ruck. So the bully sticks, I found this lady, the name is Sancho and Lola's. She's out of Texas, I believe. She's down south somewhere. And what I really liked was they're reasonable, they're very high quality, and she donates money to rescue for every purchase that you make. So that kind of hit my heart a little bit. And I remember telling Nancy about them because I'm not going to name the company name, but we were a company name user for many, many years. And it seemed like they were getting more expensive and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Right? And so we were sort of both on the lookout of like, what can we find if we can find something back in the quality that they used to be? And I found this place, and she ordered, and she had the same experience I did. They were nice and thick, back to good quality. They didn't stink like, I don't know. Bully sticks smell in general, but they didn't have that horrible, nasty smell to them. And And she has a bulk discount price. So Sancho and Lola's is the name of that.
Yeah, and there's yeah, I've been buying from them, since. So, I really and the dogs, and I'm very careful too, making sure the dogs don't get upset tummies and all that kind of stuff. So and their stuff is pretty good, and definitely can tell high quality. So again, you're gonna pay a little bit more, but and it's hard because I have, 3 big dogs and 1 little one. So
Jerk.
is he eating all the thoughts?
I don't know where he found this at, but this is what we were chewing on.
What is that?
It's like a charger for a USB. I just
Okay, well.
feel like I have toddlers running around today. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, when you have all the stuff, they're like, "Oh my God, we have all the stuff."
I know. If you won't give me that, I'm taking whatever else I found.
All right. So the other thing I wanted to actually and this is treats and food. I started my dogs on my breeder actually, my lab breeder actually turned me onto it. A dog food called Bixby, and I have been using it now for the last, oh gosh, I want to say a couple years now. So what I really like about it is the dog food. You know how some of them, when it gets wet, it expands. This doesn't. It really gets it's really it just gets so soft and kind of dissolves a little bit, if that makes any sense. So I like that better because I like that idea versus the it expanding. It doesn't expand. It just gets mushy, I guess is a better word for me to say. So they have a lot of different variety of dog food. Again, it's a little pricey, but my dogs do pretty well on it. And they have beef, and they have fish, turkey, and they also have cat food, which my cats can't have because they. But I really, really am a fan of this food since my dogs have been on it. It's pretty good quality. Again, not super, and they do have, like everybody else, freeze dried, which I use sometimes as for treats as well. So I wanted to kind of put that out there. I really have been very happy with the quality of their food. Again, not cheap, but good. She's really good, good quality dog food and treats. So that I put that out there because I think I've been using it now for a couple of years, and I've been pretty happy with it. My dogs do pretty well on it. And again, for those of you who want to, and I like the fact that the food doesn't expand like regular dog food. It just falls apart. It falls like crumbly, I guess, if you will. So it doesn't expand in the dog's tummy. So I like that better. All right. So toys, because that has been a topic on my my beagle has decided she likes to chew a lot. So even the Kongs, I have to use the black ones because she chewed the base of the Kong completely off of it. Now, mind you, she's a 20-pound dog. she's done what my 80 and 90-pound dogs have never done. So she's special like that.
Dog's naughty.
She is, and she's a pretty hard chewer. So some of the toys, like now I have to be careful because some of the toys that I've used to use in the past with my moderate chewing dogs is now fair game for her because she'll chew them up. So yeah. So and she's okay doing the plastic toys, but my other dogs really enjoy some of the some of the other ones. So I have to keep the toys away from her so that she doesn't destroy them. Because my other dogs can play and all that, and they last a very, very long time as long as the beagle doesn't get her hands on it. So what? I know you came up. You got more toys, Joanne.
I do. Well, you know, my spoiled children. I do. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm having a moment. I do like the Bark Box, right? I do, and we hoard those toys, so they always sit in like a big bin because I too have destroyers. So, you know, I kind of hoard up on the regular Bark Box toys, and then one day I'll give everyone one, and then they shred the heck out of them, and it's fine. But Bam is a nurser, so he loves his. We call him his baby. Go get your baby. Where is it? He'll run upstairs and come back down with his toy. And so there's two that are his favorites. One is the jumbo lamb chop. So lamb chop is like 24 inches, and I wait for those to go on sale. And he actually will nurse those for weeks. But another fave, and this one is the Go Dog balls.
Yep. That's what my dogs have, all of them. They love those.
I have found the fur on them, like for dogs that are shredders, these last a little longer because they'll pull out the tufts of fur before they'll actually reach in. And it has a little bit, I'm not going to tell you it's fantastic, but the fabric on the inside is just a little more reinforced. So they last a smidge longer. I mean, if you have a shredder, you have a shredder. Like, you can't leave them with toys. Do you know what I'm saying?
So those toys that Joanne has are the ones that my other dogs have used for years. And we have a couple of those Go Dogs. We have a couple of those that I've had for, I don't know, 5 years. That's how long they've lasted. And they just, you know, but the beagle got a hold of one of them the other day. So we had to.
I don't have anything that's 5 years old as a toy in this house, but one of the other ones, again, if you know me, I'm a dog treat collar toy hoarder, but I buy stuff on sale. So when there's a sale, this is the Hide a Squirrel. I don't know if you guys have seen these.
Yeah.
So it's a big tower, and there's a whole bunch of little squirrels inside, right? And so they all are individual. They all squeak. There's a whole bunch of them in there. And so I have found for shredder dogs, you know, sometimes this suffices that for a minute. I don't leave it unattended, which is why it still looks so good. But you know, then when they want to get something, it takes them a little bit of work, right? And they can finally pull that squirrel out, and then they'll usually drop it and go in and try and find another one. So those are kind of fun. Just to give them an opportunity to sort of destroy something where it's not really destroying it. There's another toy on the market. They're very expensive, and I bought one, and you know, it's one of those where you walk away for a minute and then the toy is dead. Like I forgot to pick that up. They're called Terribles, Tear, Terribles, and it's really thick Velcro, like on legs and a head, so they can like pull really hard and like rip the leg off, and then they'll rip the next leg off, and then you can reattach them. So those are kind of fun to play with.
Oh, I think I've seen those.
Yeah, I got the big giant purple one time, and it lasted a little while until, you know, it's like when somebody gets a seam of it, right? And they just start gnawing at it, and then as soon as there's a hole in it, it's dead. Yeah, Jennifer, it's sort of like that here too. Can't keep anything stuffed for more than 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, wait, I think I found the shareables one.
Terribles.
Terrible, sorry. There.
Yes. Yeah, they're all like little monsters. They made a COVID one during COVID, which is like little COVID ball. But they're basically, they have different sizes. And so they, you know, each thing in there has like the legs and the head have, or ears sometimes, have really thick Velcro that they can just kind of stand on and rip apart. They are not cheap. So I remember I watched that toy like a hawk for like the first month because it was expensive. And then,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. But I would be afraid. that since my big dogs, they can swallow those without a problem.
Well, yeah, I mean, and like those, they are small inside, so you do want to make sure if you have a dog, you know, don't let
Yes.
Tango play with those. So, and then I have another one. So this is this is a cheapy one. If you have a ball dog that gets a little bored with balls sometimes, JW Pet makes this crackle ball. So it's like your normal silicone ball, but it has this thick plastic inside. So it's like the combo of the water bottle and a ball.
Yes.
So it gets very annoying if you're on the phone or something, but the dogs have a really good time with this. It does get kind of loud, but they do kind of like it. And this is one they can kind of gnaw on a little bit, and it's tougher. So they bounce it around, crackle it for a while. JW Crackle Ball is the name of that one.
Yeah.
So.
The other thing and you can make, a lot of people make the snuffle mats. I know everybody, that's a big, it's a big, I personally think it's a really important toy, and I really like using it for different things. If you're a crafty person, then yay, you know, you could make your own. If you're not, then luckily you can buy them everywhere, which is nice. Let's see if I can find.
I got one if you want to see.
Yeah,
already up. It's in my orders on Amazon. So what I have found, I did make one and I like it a lot, but the thing that I liked better are the ones that are almost like bath mats. So sorry, I get my mouth. So it's like a big fancy bath mat where it's a little bit like taller pill. And the other thing that I like about it too is the bottom of it has a pad, right? So this section of the bottom doesn't allow the crumbs to fall through like the normal snuffle mats, like homemade ones that you make with like a dishwasher or a dish sink piece. Yeah, so it doesn't have all the crumbs that fall through on the floor afterwards. And this one is huge, enormous, like 20 by 32. So it's a big one. And it really is a bath mat. So yes, I spent $17 on a bath mat, but if you wait and you can find like a nice shag bath mat, do that instead, because you'll probably find that for $4 or $5. But I love it, and it goes really nice in the washing machine, washes up super great. And they have all different ones, but like I really like these because they have to dig deep for an 1.5 inch pill. They have to dig pretty deep down there to find them all.
Yeah. And the other thing, you guys, when it comes to toys, just a little bit of a hint. When you have toys, you definitely want to rotate the toys. So I pick up toys, put them away, and then use certain toys, and then I pull out the old toys and have them use it again. And that way it stays interesting. And because if you have the toys available all the time, chances are they're not going to really want to play with them, you know, as often as, you know, you would think, right? So I'm a big toy rotator. Like, you're going to have this toy today, we'll put them all away, and then and I go through and throw them away. And now that I've had Miss Roomba, I'm, you know, we're throwing away more because she's breaking them more. But before she came along, I would just rotate toys, and they just would be, oh, it's a new toy, and they play with it and everything else. And because my dogs are actually Jive, Tango, and Cha Cha used to be, and actually Mambo, the puppy, is very good with toys too, but the Beagle is not so much. So we, you know, we kind of monitor the toys and making sure she that she doesn't get a hold of them for too long. She'll play with them, but if she gets bored and you just ignore it, she's gonna eat it. So
yeah. Jessica gets the stuffed toys, the stuffed less toys, which those are good. I forget what those are called.
Skinnies.
Skinnies. Yeah, those are great. if your dog likes to tug and likes the plush and even rip stuff up, and those you can get for $2 or $3 sometimes. So those are nice ones if you just want to let your dog have a shred fest. Treat balls, treat toys. I have gotten big on those this year. I'm going to be dead honest with you guys, right? Sometimes I am tired and I don't want to train. And my dogs are like, we need something to do, right? So I'm trying to give them a way to tire themselves out that doesn't require a lot of my attention. So I do like the treat, food toys. One of the fun ones that I found, Lisa, actually, who couldn't join us tonight, Lisa showed this to me and I bought one, and oh my God, it's so fun. So this one unscrews on both sides. It's got two little, one is a big size hole, and the other side has the same thing, but it's 3 different sizes. So like you can do something, as big as a chunk of freeze-dried liver and as small as like a zook. And then when you roll it, I don't know if you guys know what sound like the wiggle giggle balls make, that like wah, wah, that kind of, as you roll it, it makes that noise. So look, it's $9 on sale on Amazon today. So those are really, really fun. And it's like, just they'll push it across. It's pretty easy, I will give you that, but with the noise, I think they tend to like that one. What's the silicone one? You guys sell it too.
The what?
Snoop. The Snoop is my favorite.
One of my favorites, yes.
Yep. And then I get this one, which is a little easier, but you can fit more in here. So what is this? The Star Mark makes these. And you can adjust it to how big or small you want the hole to be. Those are fun. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else I have. Licky mats, crate lick mats, those types of things. I mean, those are all just great options to give yourself a little break sometime and give your dog something to do.
Yeah. Well, I think that I also think that you want to use them on more regular, because I think people because I'll be honest, I used to be that way. I used to get toys or whatever and then not use it or put them away or whatever. So you have to make sure you like the licky mat, the snuffle mats. Those are great for training, right? The snuffle mat, especially if you're going to have a stressful situation or environment or whatever, you definitely want to make sure that you definitely want to make sure that you use it on a more regular basis, so the dog really makes that positive association. And then chewing, the other thing you want to be mindful of, just don't forget, if your dog has a sensitive stomach or whatever, you want to be careful not giving them a lot of bully sticks or a lot of I like the collagen sticks too. They tend to last a long time because they're pretty hard. So they, like today I gave one to my puppy and I had an hour and a half of him not having a cow. So it's one of the, I think, and Noelle, we carry them at the facility. They're really hard. I think these are the really hard ones, the best bully stick ones. And so they tend to use those. They tend to go through those. But again, you want to make sure that your dog doesn't have any weird, effects on those. So give them a half of one or a smaller one before you add on and do a whole bunch of bunch of stuff. And this is, and I wanted to show you this because this is, I love, let's see if I could find it again. So this, I like this little doohickey, the little toy that you can put the stick in. You can use it for bully sticks too. That's a fun stick.
And you have somebody who swallows the 6-inch ones.
Yeah, right. Because I'll be honest with you, I have my labs tend to really be they're swallowers, so that the holder is pretty cool. So
those are nice.
Something to think about. Yep. Yeah. So those are one of my ones I use on a regular.
I'm gonna steal this. Dave shared something in the comments, which I thought, well, these look pretty cool. I haven't used this yet. He said he's using this for his SAR dogs, search and rescue dogs. Powerball Fantastic. So it's got a ball, it's got fuzzies, it's got a bungee, so it's a tug, it's a ball, it's a furry. These are pretty cool. I like it. Rubber ball. Neat. Thanks, Dave. It's another site you're going to make me spend money on.
Yeah. Oh, those are nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Those are nice for like nose work too, right? As a reinforcement for that. Yeah.
So would Bam. Bam would lose his mind too. He's a huge tugger. And actually, let me find I don't remember what company makes these. If I can find it, it's the only one I've ever found on the market. If you guys have any ridiculous tuggers, like Bam will rip your rotator cuff. He's that kind of a tugger. There's a jute stick, which the jute sticks are like Kevlar, right? So they're the really, really tough ones. But it has an unpoppable squeaker inside the jute stick. It's the only really, really tough tug that I have found that has a squeaker that doesn't die. And I see if I can find it. Well, if I find it, I'll post the link in there because otherwise I'm going to be sitting here looking for it because I don't remember. But it's great. So it's super, super Kevlar thick and then meep, meep. So they're wonderful. Okay. One other thing enrichment wise that I have been having a little bit of fun with. I'm not going all out, like I don't, but has anyone played with the little buttons?
Oh yeah, I know one of my students does.
So there's people who have like the bunny buttons, which those ones like have a special place and the dogs can go to them. I had one and I was like playing with the treat, right? And so if they would come up and boop it, right, it would have my voice on it. So there's a little button you can record it to say whatever you want it to say. I said cookie, right? So when they booped it, it would say cookie, and then I would give them a cookie. But they have them pretty cheap versions now if you want to play with them yourself.
Oh, I got those.
Yeah, so I mean, you can use them for game show stuff and fun with your family too. But you know, like you could put one by the water bowl where it says, "Hey, fill up the water." You know what I mean? or treat, or go outside, or like I have not used this, but I would love to see somebody play with it. Like instead of the bell, right? Like boop, potty. You know what I mean, or whatever your word is for that. Like gotta go outside.
So Liz said that she had one for Ruger for outside, and what a mistake. It was like outside.
Yeah, right. You're like, all right, I'm taking this button away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially the ones that are, thinkers that we love so much.
Right.
Anyway, but those are so we wanted to kind of go over stuff that we use, and I know we talk about it throughout the year. And I'm sure there's more out there that we're not even aware of, but we wanted to kind of enrichment is a big thing that we try to do for our dogs with toys and different things, chews and stuff. I did, we do, I'll be honest, I use chews when I have a lot to do, when I'm busy and I need to have some quiet time. I give it to them during those times so that they can keep busy and I can get some work done. And then also I also have a lot of stuff that we use when we're training, like the tug toys or whatever when we are training, because I try to just to give them something different. But again, adding to definitely rotating the toys is really, really helpful. It gives them a sense of newness, and it's instead of leaving all the toys out all the time, they just lose their, it's no different than a kid having a bedroom full of toys, and it's like, do you have any toys? It's like, no.
I'm so bored. There's nothing to do.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So it's like, let's just let's get that one. So anyway, we wanted to
I had a couple, well, just a couple more things.
Right.
So one thing, like, I have some short-haired dogs, right? And I know, I mean, a lot of you guys do too. So one of my very, very favorites, especially in the winter, to kind of groom the dogs that where you don't have to really groom them. Kong makes a Zoom groom.
Oh yeah, I love that. I have one.
It's a curry comb. And so if you find that your dog's, feeling a little oily or getting some white, whatever, frosties on them from dry skin, even dogs that don't really like grooming, I have found really like this. I feel it like, I think it feels more massagey to them than any other kind of brushing.
Yes.
And so they'll just stand there like, and careful because you'll create a rug with this. I mean, it takes off so much hair. But they're cheap. They're like $4 or $5. So I love that.
I use it. I use it to get Tango's hair out when I'm giving him a bath.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. You could get so much out of the labs with this too, man. If you ever haven't, try using it on the labs. One of the other ones that I found, and I did this last winter, actually. I don't remember what it was. It was like a salt irritation or something. Somebody had licked or had like an abrasion, and it wasn't enough for like antibiotics or anything like that. So I found this. The Natural Dog Company makes this. I know it's really hard to see. It's called Skin Soother. Treats rashes, scrapes, and hot spots. And it comes in a bigger version of this, but basically the directions are like 2-3 times a day. Try to distract the dog while the balm soaks in. So it doesn't need to, you don't need that long on it. And it's just called Skin Soother.
Oh.
They have a couple of other versions of things that they offer. They also offer treats. It's a really nice kind of wholesome company too. But this is really great. And it just comes in kind of this creamy little chapstick tube. Smells really nice, kind of eucalyptusy, but it really, really helped with like just that little skin abrasion. And then the last thing that I will share with you, these are my fave for my short-haired dogs, but any dog can have these. There is a company out there called Gold Paw. I lied. Gold Paw.
Gold Paws, yeah.
I always say West Paw. And so what they make a bunch of different things, but these are like spandex and fleece combined together. Okay. So they're super duper stretchy. They're nice for like a house jacket, and they're super thin, right? So just this really super thin material. It's just stretches right over the dog. I mean, you can get their feet right through it, even with a long-legged dog. And if it's really, really cold, you can wear them undercoats, right? But if the heat goes out or something in the house, you lose power, whatever, I throw them on right away. Or if it's just a chilly day, I might put those on. They also make sun shirts. So they make ones for summer that are it's like a cottony material. It's supposed to repel sun rays and keep your dog cooler. I have not tried one of those. But it's just, I love those things. I have a bunch. So they're one of my favorite winter. It's too cold it's not cold enough for a coat, but it's cold enough that my dog is shivering because I have, the Vizslas have no undercoat. So love it.
Yep. I just got 2 for Roomba because while my labs and shepherds don't need it, she does because she gets really cold. So I just ordered from Gold Paw. And they're really great, and they keep the dogs pretty warm. And a lot of people do use them underneath their regular coat to keep the dog warm. So it's really a very cool. And they do a nice job, and their service is fabulous.
Yeah, so, and it like for nosework trials too. Like I know a lot of us are nosework people, right? Or you're going on walks. If your dog really doesn't like that big bulky coat, I have found those to be very thin, and it doesn't really bother the dogs very much. So we don't get any kickbacks. I just really love their products. So
yeah, really. And you guys, just like we're not getting anything for promoting. It's just
stuff we like.
Stuff that I thought you might like. And I know we've shared some of that over this year, but we kind of wanted to reiterate kind kind of the stuff that we do use and that we enjoy and that we like, we like a lot, or new stuff. Like I said, some of the treats that Amy recommended, the Munster freeze dried bites. They're pretty awesome. I really enjoyed them very much. As my lab, every time she hears a bag of rustling, she's.
And I forgot I just bought something new.
What is that? Oh, the iDig. Yes.
So if you guys have dogs that are tearing up your, I haven't used this yet, but I'm really excited to do it. I just haven't had time because it just came this week. So if you have a digger, right, this is supposed to promote digging in a healthy way. So it has like little pockets and pouches that you can hide toys or treats. And there's different layers. So you can stuff, like this one is like a mesh. And then it folds out from all these different places. And you could put like another pocket in the bottom there. They all come out to be able to throw in the wash. And then it folds over as like this 3-layer thing. So your dog can dig to high heaven. This is like a really thick kind of awning material. Right. So I think it's like promoting the digging. So I'm excited to use it because I do have a couple of dogs who enjoy the scratching.
Yeah, I don't. None of my dogs really. Maybe. I mean, maybe the Beagle might decide to develop that habit as we go on, but she hasn't.
I'm sure the lab would be fine if you hit a cookie in there. She'd dig.
She would. She would. So a lot of this stuff is used to just for enhancement and to keep them busy. And if you, for the holidays, you want to put that on the Christmas list for Santa, that might be something that you can consider. The other thing I also like a lot, which I don't know where I put it, is the chucket balls. My shepherd tends to eat the tennis balls. Not that he doesn't have them, but we don't have them out too much. But the chucket balls come in a couple sizes, so I got a little bit bigger size. So, because I worry about my dogs choking on them. So, and they just last a long time, and the dogs really, really enjoy them, which is kind of what was on the end of that, of the one that Dave mentioned, that chucket ball. Except it's a little bigger. So I really enjoy the chucket balls as well, and the dogs really like them, and they last a long time. Because that's the other thing, I don't mind spending a little extra on a toy if it's going to last a little bit. If it's going to, if they're going to tear it up in 5 minutes, then, it's a little more painful when it doesn't last very long. So,
especially the expensive ones. So,
yeah, right. Especially the expensive ones. Anyway, so hopefully you found this helpful. We are not going to be on for the next 2 weeks, obviously, because it's Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, I believe, the next 2 Sundays. So we will see you on the first weekend in the first Sunday in the new year with some more topics. And again, if you have any ideas for topics, please feel free to email us and let us know stuff that you want to hear about, learn more about. And I'm going to put our emails in there so that you can, that's mine. And then you can also email Joanne at
forworse.com. Yep. And I will just say, from all of us, and I know Lisa would say it too, but she's not feeling well tonight. Thank you for continuing to tune in, and thank you for, watching us. And, the reason why we do this is, yes, for you guys, but we hope that as you learn, you share knowledge with other people who can share knowledge with other people. And, sometimes it's fun things like this that we do. And sometimes it's talking about, hard topics and things that people struggle with. So, again, we really are open to topics. If you guys have things you're struggling with or things your friends are struggling with, somebody at work, tell us. We'll do a topic on it. You can have them tune in. So we really just want to spread the word to make people and dogs' lives better and more knowledgeable. So thank you guys for a good year.
Yeah. And so and that is true, because the whole point of it is for that, the more you know,
the better off the better off it'll be for dogs, right? And that's kind of why the better we understand our dogs, and the better that we can help them and give them a good life, and be able to share our lives with them in a more positive way instead of with a lot of conflict and unhappiness. We want having a dog or owning a dog to be a pleasant event for all involved, and in a harmonious, situation for everybody. So yeah, this is kind of why we do it. So yeah, please, thank you so much for definitely a great year. It's been a pretty interesting one. So hopefully the new year will bring a lot more love, peace, and happiness, because we all need that.
Yes. So happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, season's greetings, happy holidays, happy New Year. We will see you all next year.
See you all next year. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.